What was this? Oh my goodness. So as many of you know, Trump's birthday happened to coincide with the 250th anniversary of the military, right? Of the army. And he had a parade. Now, I don't know what to tell you. That is the most tone-deaf thing you could possibly do right now, all right? We're in the middle of possibly war with Iran, thanks to Israel. And I mean, we have the tariffs going on with the situation there. We have the deportations, all right, which is going to have a ripple effect on the economy. And you're having a military parade, okay? That's what you're having. How cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs do you have to be? But what makes this absolutely ironic in my belief is the fact that this costs Americans, American taxpayer, anywhere to $25 to $45 million that they're estimating. And I'm like, hold up. Did y'all not have Doge? Weren't y'all the ones talking about, we got to eliminate fraud and we got to eliminate waste? Weren't they? Wasn't that the whole purpose of Doge? Wasn't that the whole thing that they were trying to tell to the American people? Hey, that's why you're losing your job, because you're not useful, okay? It's considered waste. Damn. That's why these people, federal workers are losing their jobs everywhere. That's why we're shutting down certain industries. That's the reason why, because there's a lot of fraud and there's a lot of waste. Can y'all tell me one person that has been charged, I won't even get to convicted, charged with, even speculated in being charged with fraud? Can you all tell me one person? Show me one person that Pam Bondi has charged with fraud via Doge's investigation, right? This whole entire time, all the fraud and the waste they were getting rid of in the government and the bureaucracy. Show me one person that has been charged with fraud, because fraud is a crime. That is illegal. Show me one person. You can't, because it's all bull crap. It was all nonsense. All it was is to make the top of the top wealthier and to screw everyone else over. That's what it was. Because not one federal worker that they fired, how did that benefit us, huh? They want to tell us that we saved all this money. How? How do we save all this money? Where are you coming up with this? How do we save money? What are you talking about? This is foolishness. You save money so then you can do a dumb parade. And the crazy part is that if you look at the parade, nobody looked like they wanted to be there, bruh. The military people didn't look like they want to be there. And there was one part, fam. There was one part where I fell out of my chair. There was one part of the parade where they showed this guy was holding up a drone while walking. The drone wasn't flying next to him. He was holding up a drone. He was holding up a drone while walking. And I'm thinking to myself, is it going to fly off, right? Is he going to go? Is he going to maneuver it and get into the crowd? Nah, bro. He was just holding up the drone while walking. And I'm like, fam, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. They didn't even look good while marching, because they were marching, I guess it was route step, right? And, you're used to seeing the military all in formation, just bam, 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 right? All just synchronized, right? Just showing discipline, everyone on point as a solid unit. Bro, they were just like, yeah. I was like, what is this? What is this, y'all? It didn't even look impressive, right? If for any other country looking at this, they would be like, yeah, I think we're going to invade the U.S. I would argue that this was propaganda against the U.S. This was anti-American propaganda.
He's out of line, but he's right.
That's what that parade was. Because there's no way in God's green earth that people could look at the military parade and not think, yeah, I'm gonna invade the U.S. Or, Russia think, yeah, I'm just gonna take over Ukraine. And I'm gonna keep pushing. Because if this is their military, I mean, they can't even march in order, bro. They can't even march synchronized together. Yeah, they not the same people. And I can think of a million ways to celebrate the military than to force them to go on this arduous freaking parade, this march of waving to non-existent people, bro. There was like a few people in the crowd, and the crowd was dead. Because what are you celebrating, huh? Like, I don't even understand, right? You're celebrating a guy in a tank? What stupidness is this? So they're just like, like it's a pageant or something. I'm like, how about you pay them more? How about you make the VA work better? How about you give them better benefits? I mean, there's a litany of things you can do to show appreciation to the military, to the army, than having them march out like a bunch of trophies or something, right? Like it was a pageant contest, just, hi, hello, woohoo. It was, it was just disgraceful in my opinion. On top of that, to finish this out, the irony of this parade, in addition to, it looking very weak, it making us look bad, was that at the same time, what was going on was the No King, I guess we'll say protests. There were protests that actually made the military parade look like a joke, okay? It made it look like a joke. There was more people who came out that day in protest throughout the world than there were that showed up for the military parade. That should show you how this country feels about this president. That should show you how this country feels about this administration. And I can't help but shake the feeling that if only all of these people had showed up on election day, we wouldn't be in this dilemma, okay? We wouldn't be in this problem. But I feel that there are some out there that are more concerned with the virtue signaling. They're more concerned with the optics. Oh, look at us. We're actually marching. We actually have our banners. We actually have this. Like, they take pride in like the protests, right? They take pride in more of the resistance than the actual winning. That's what it seems like. Because you can't tell me everyone who showed up for these protests and everything, you can't tell me that not one of them didn't vote for Trump and are now regretting their vote, okay? That they're now coming out in protest and saying, yeah, we got to stop this. No kings, no dictators and all this. And it's just like, I don't know. For me, it's bittersweet to see because I'm just like, where was all this in November, fam? Where was all this when it actually counted during election day? Where were y'all then? Where was all this hurrah and, this, we got to stop the kings and we can't let Trump go in? Where was all this when it mattered? It doesn't matter now, bro. This protest, I hear you. I'm all in for free speech, but these protests aren't going to do anything. Like, it doesn't change anything. So if we can have this same outcome during the midterms, during the next presidency, sure, by all means. But if this is just for the sake of just looking good, for optics, okay, just for venting, then it's meaningless, bro. We've got to do better mobilizing when it comes to important times to avoid, having to do such protests, right? Wouldn't it be easier to win instead of actually having to protest and constantly complain about, oh, why do we have this person in office? How about we just win? How about we focus on winning? That way we don't have to waste our time on protests. But like I said, I feel like there are people who just want to virtue signal. That they don't show up when the time comes, but they'll show up for a protest because it makes them feel nice and warm inside, nice and fuzzy. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe Lucas, we got to show appreciation, all right? It's very important, okay? Especially with what's going on in the world. We got to show that we're still American, we're still strong. Or if you don't believe, I don't think this was the parade to do that. I think this parade made us look very bad. All right, very bad. The optics were very bad. The lack of people just even showing enthusiasm for the parade, much less our military not looking excited to be there. It was just all bad, all around. All right. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday. Disagreement day, there'll be a number on screen. You call in and we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think and subscribe. And that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.